Hello and welcome back to a new type of video that we're doing. It's games that we think you should buy for Christmas or ask for Christmas. There's going to be 4 games that have come out this year that are new games, and there'll be 2 games that are fairly old, but we think that are fun for you to buy. So moving into Golf with Your Friends.
Yeah, Golf with Your Friends. It's not an expensive game at all. The way I'd explain it is it's a game to just have fun with your mates. There's quite a few maps you can play, and also there's quite a lot planned out for the future, such as community map building. They've got planned for the future, and especially how you can have. I think it's like an arcade mode, or is it classic? You can adjust certain variables in the actual game, so you can add you can have stupid shapes, like you can be like a cube going around trying to get into a hole, or you can have like really high jumping collision, so you can really mess up your mate's day when they're trying to get a hole in one. Adam will. So yeah, that is the overall game. It's very, very cheap, and we highly recommend it.
And moving on to War Thunder. So this game has been out for years now, but it's just had its main release last year. So it's basically a flying game set in World War II, and from World War II on, well, World War One really, World War One and onwards to the modern, well, not modern, but at the beginning of jets. There's so many different factions you can play as. US, Russia, Germany, England, French have just been added. There's air realistic, that is, as it is probably, as you can tell, basically realistic. There's air arcade. There's loads of different game modes, and there's custom battles that you can make with your friends. It's a free-to-play game, but there's also pay aspects as well. You can buy eagles to buy better planes, get more lions to spend on your planes and everything like that. It's getting constantly updated. So yeah, and moving on to Star Wars now, aren't we, Joe?
So Star Wars Battlefront 2 is an awesome game. I'm a Star Wars fan, by the way. So they finally added their single player in after the last Star Wars Battlefront wasn't the best game. So they finally added it in, and in my personal opinion, it is a very good campaign if you like to play on Star Wars games. Then on the multiplayer actual front, they're adding a lot more in. They've tripled the amount of vehicles, aircraft, and so on. Especially how The Last Jedi is coming out now, so it's going to be adding a lot more stuff in. I think the first DLC is coming out very soon. You got all the classic. Instead of making your layouts now, it's more you got like the heavy officer medic sort of. It's like it runs off like Battlefield 1. So yeah, it's quite a good game, and it's a bit expensive.
A bit,
but
Jesus,
it's a good game to play. They did have a bit of confusion to start off with, maybe a bit to pay to win, but that has been gotten rid of. So yeah, it's quite a good game, and highly recommend if you are into this type of game, and if you are a Star Wars fan, go and get it.
Now we're going on to Total War 2. This game was released on the 28th of September this year. It is the second game out of the franchise from Total War, about the Warhammer universe. Warhammer is based on a board game, a very successful board game. Total War Warhammer 1 came out, I think it was a year ago or 2 years ago. But this one is set the other side of the world. You get to play as high elves, dark elves, high elves, lizardmen, and Skaven. But they've added a thing called Mortal Empires, where if you have Total War 1 and you have Total War 2, the 2 worlds combined, so you have a grand campaign map, which is amazing, and you also have every single faction if you've got the DLC. They're going to be bringing out a lot of DLC, paid and free DLC, which I'm really looking forward to. The artwork in the game is beautiful. If you were looking for a good strategy game that's quite simple to understand, I would highly recommend getting this game. There are other strategy games out there that are a little bit complicated, but this one, when you play the campaign, it's easy to understand. It teaches you everything as you go along, and it's just really fun. There's a free-for-all aspect in it now, so it's a four people going against each other. You can see who's the best out of your friends, and yeah, so I think this is probably one of my best games of the year.
So moving on to PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds now. There's not much really to say about this game. It came out, it's by the same guy that made H1Z1. King of the Kill is now what it was called. Now it's just called H1Z1. Maybe they're saying, guy, it's an absolutely amazing King of the Hill, King of the Kill type of game. It's just a loot, grab a gun. It's really big. It's hit loads of expectations that everyone thought it was going to do. It's one of the most streamed games on Twitch. I mean, if you haven't heard about it, I'm sure you would have done anyway. But I mean, it's just generally a really fun game. It takes a few hours, I'd say, probably like 10 hours to get the hang of the game before you can start getting some kills and getting some nice results and getting that winner chicken dinner at the end of the game. What we've had a few times. But no, it's just a really good game, really fun game. If you got mates and you want to play it like a semi-strategy game, like loot, kill, and move on sort of game, it's great fun. We've had hours of fun playing this game over this year. It's not that expensive. I think it's like £27 now. It came out, we got it quite cheap when it first came out, so I'm sure it'd be cheap on other websites. But I mean, generally, it's for the price. It's well worth it. You won't regret buying it if you're into like first-person sort of shooters, sort of killing games. But I'd say, all in all, it's got to be one of the best games of the year by far. Call of Duty World War II. I think for me and Adam, anyway, this is the best game that has been released this year.
God,
the
yes.
campaign is absolutely beautiful and amazing. It's got to be one of the best COD campaigns that have come out in the past 3 or 4 years, I think. It's fun, it's exciting, it's back to boots on ground. There's no more jetpacks flying around in the sky. It's back to good old what original COD fans loved. Running, gunning, killing, and it looks good. It's got a great campaign, like I said, set in World War II. I mean, the guns are quite like realistic and good. There's nothing like, too unbalanced about the game at the minute. I think me and Adam have both completed the campaign now, and I think we both agree that it's amazing. I mean, multiplayer we played a lot of. We did like a Race to Prestige sort of thing on release night that we played. I think it was for like 24 hours straight or something like that. And I mean, I don't think we really got bored once playing it because it just really rekindled our love for the game that was COD from back in our teenage years. So, I mean, from the release of Infinite Warfare that was last year and how bad that was and how I don't think many fans received it very well, to this, it's just a great new thing. And I mean, it's always good to see zombies back. They've got the massive zombie map that's really confusing. You can dive into that. You can learn about all the different things in there. Like, you've got boss zombies. You got all sorts of weird stuff and wonderful stuff in there. Then you got also the little shack map that's basically just like try and survive as long as possible. It's a game for everyone, really. There's so many different things you can do on the game. They've got headquarters, so in there you can do free-for-alls with your mates. You can do little mini games in there. There's so many different things this game has brought out, and I mean, it's got, I think, the best game of the year so far. So I mean, well, it's going to be the best game of the year. And I mean, I just think anyone who did like COD and maybe went off it when they started getting all futuristic or thought it wasn't very good, I think this is the game. If you want to get back into it, get a bit of that nostalgia from like your childhood, I think this is the game that will give you the nostalgia you're looking for.
So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and we'll hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.